So the Eagles come out of week 1 with the win and are 1-0, but we have injury concerns on a short week. Nakobe Dean out a month. James Bradberry in concussion protocol. That's why it didn't take the Eagles long to go out and get a linebacker.
Dallas still stinks.
Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here. I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Be hanging in there. Welcome to Victory Monday, and we don't have a lot of time because the Eagles got to play on Thursday. And the worst thing that came out of yesterday's game wasn't just the play calling, it wasn't the sloppy play, but we've got injuries. Nakobe Dean is out for about a month, and that's why the Eagles didn't take long to go out and get a linebacker. And oh, by the way, it looks like James Bradberry probably won't play Thursday because he's in concussion protocol. Now, we got a lot to talk about, and before we do that, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, the most throttled, pause, Eagles content creator in all of the internet. And if you've been subscribed for a while, I just want to thank you guys so much for all the support you give to me. It truly means a lot. And I want to thank everybody who has hung out with me all day yesterday. We did a double with multiple streams, even though the Dallas and Giants game really stunk because the Giants stink. I just appreciate everybody hanging out with me. I didn't get to bed till about 4 o'clock in the morning. I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I am tired today. I couldn't go to sleep. I had to watch that Eagles game over again. And there's some interesting things I definitely want to get into. But before that, let's talk about the injuries that we have right now. The biggest one being Nakobe Dean. Nakobe Dean has a foot injury. He's going to be out for about a month. Now, the good news in this whole thing is that there was some concern that he was going to need surgery. He won't. So it will be for about a month. James Bradberry, he's in concussion protocol. Now, with the Eagles playing on Thursday, I would say it's an 85 to 90% chance he is not going to play. So Josh Jobe, we are going to have to really count on him, especially with the Vikings and their weapons, that he can be ready to go on Thursday. Fletcher Cox, we did get some good news. It looks like after MRI, he is going to be okay, and that's good news for us. Now, because the Eagles, have Nakobe Dean, who's going to be out a month, they went out and they signed a linebacker today. My man, shout out to Jordan Schultz. He says, former pound Titans, not hashtag, linebacker Rashaan Evans tells me he's signing to the Eagles practice squad. This comes after the news of the Nakobe Dean suffering a foot injury. So he goes to Philly. And then it says, Rashaan Evans is coming off a career-high 159 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles last season. The former Alabama football star was a first-round pick in 2018. Evans is only 27 years old and made it all 17 starts last season in Tennessee. So, this sounds like a signing the Eagles have to do. You obviously need depth at linebacker. We'll see how quickly he goes to the practice squad and then comes up ready to play. I don't think it'll be this Thursday, but we saw Zach Cunningham rise real quick to becoming a starter at linebacker. So we'll see. Hopefully Nakobe Dean will be okay. It's a shame. You get Nakobe Dean, you wait a whole year for him to come out and play. He comes out week 1 and he has a foot injury. Now, I will say this. I stayed up late last night and I watched this game over again. And after rewatching the game, and when you stream the game like I do, there is so much you miss. It's just hard to keep up trying to stream and read the chat and look at the game. You miss a lot. On second viewing, I really, Nakobe Dean, especially in the passing game, was not good. He was not good. I thought against the run, I thought he had some good plays, but in the passing game, he was not good. And those tight ends absolutely destroyed him. Part of that is he's young and he needs time to play and learn and get accustomed. I get it, but he wasn't good. And then to have that injury on top of it, that really doesn't help his development. So we just got to hope that he comes back and he's ready to go. But I tell you, after this game, I did my victory celebration score. I enjoyed the win. I'm happy that the Eagles are 1-0. I'm happy, and that's the main thing. Good teams find a way to win. So when I talk about some of the negative things that you're going to hear right now, just know I'm not down that the fact that this team won. They won, and I'm happy about that. We're 1-0. But there are things we have to acknowledge about what happened in this game in order to address it, and then hopefully it will get fixed very quickly. That's the wonderful thing, I think, for the most part, that right now there is nothing that can't be fixed. There is nothing. Even if you need to go out and make a trade for a player, you still have plenty of time to do that. And I do think, after watching game, and I'm just basing it on last night's game, but I do think there may need to be a move for a Patrick Queen or something, because I do think that the Eagles, that middle of the defense scares me. The linebackers and the safeties is where teams are going to attack you. They're not going to attack you on the outside. They're going to attack you over the middle, and that's what they're going to do. Now, Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter were absolutely fantastic. Milt Williams, fantastic. Fletcher Cox, fantastic. But why wouldn't any team just do what the Patriots did to us? Just attack the middle of the field. If you do that, the Eagles could have a problem. So that, if any place the Eagles make a trade by the trade deadline, I really would look at it to be another linebacker or safety to try to address that if need be. I didn't think Justin Evans was very good yesterday either. Okay, I don't understand what's so good about Justin Evans that I can't just put Sidney Brown out there. I think he could do just as good of a job as a rookie. Just get him out there. I didn't think he was okay. I thought Reed Blankenship was okay. I think he didn't cover the tight end, and it's hard to cover those tight ends. On that one play in the end zone, I thought if he reacted a little differently to the ball, I think he could have broke that play up. But I thought Reed Blankenship wasn't too bad. I thought the problem was Evans and then those linebackers, especially in pass coverage, could not stop those tight ends. And obviously that's where teams are going to attack you. They're going to attack the middle of the field against the Eagles. So they're going to have to fix that. They're definitely going to have to fix that. Now the bright spot on defense is Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. I mean, those guys were beasts. Jalen Carter is everything we thought he was going to be. The guy had, 8 pressures yesterday? And really, I believe this, if those corners aren't playing as far back, and if they're playing a little man press, a little more man, yes, you hold up that quarterback from throwing so quickly. Listen, with 70 sacks last year, teams are going to do exactly what the Patriots did. They're going to get rid of the ball quickly as possible. So if you give 7-8 yards cushion to your corners, they're going to just throw. They're going to take the underneath stuff. You could throw 4 yards and they can run another 4 yards before there's any contact with a corner. So I think the Eagles need to play more man. I think they need to play more press coverage. Just do stuff to hold up the quarterback to have to hold that ball just a little longer, and I think you'll see a lot of sacks, especially from Jalen Carter. But I thought Carter and Davis were absolutely fantastic. My biggest issue with the game, really, I think it was coaching. I mean, Belichick outcoached our coaches. Like, light years ahead. We weren't ready offensively or defensively, in my opinion. So it has to be much better. To me, there's no excuse that DeAndre Swift has, 1 carry and 2 touches? Why did you trade for him? I don't... Look, I like Gainwell. I do. I think Gainwell's a decent running back, but I don't think he's a legit number 1 running back. And I don't think you should come out on a game and say, we're going to establish Gainwell. You got to go and use your strengths and play to where your stars are. You got to get A.J. Brown going. You got to get Devontae Smith going. You have to get Dallas Goedert going. These guys have to be going, and I know the weather conditions played a part of it. But why isn't Rashad Penny playing when you get a slop game like this where it's wet and he's 215, 220 pounds? I don't get it. So I think the coaching was bad, and Nick Sirianni acknowledged this much. I thought Jalen Hurts wasn't that good either. I think this was one of the worst games I think he's played in probably 2 years. And I think a lot of it has to do with both the weather and both the fact that he didn't get any reps in preseason. I think that hurt him. But here's the good news. And this is what I want to say. Those are the things that I saw that were problems. But here's the good news. The Eagles can fix all of this. This is all fixable, okay? Now, will they work everything out by Thursday on a short week? I don't know, but it's all fixable. And the one thing I can say about this coaching staff, and especially Nick Sirianni, is he will adjust. He's shown for 2 years that he is willing to adjust and do what is necessary for the team. So we know that he's going to do that. And I do think Thursday the Eagles will look much better. I think Jalen Hurts will look much better. I mean, we'll talk about the game plan, but one thing that I'm going to do very early on in the game against Minnesota is I'm going to get Dallas Goedert involved. You got to get him going early. You got to make sure he's involved. And I'm also going to use DeAndre Swift. I'm going to give DeAndre Swift he's got to have at least 10, 11 carries and 15 touches minimum a game, in my opinion. He is your breakaway threat. He is your explosive player at running back. You've got to use him better. It's funny because I just did 7 minutes telling you the things I had problems with, yet this team is still 1-0. And we can complain about all these things, and I'm not going to harp on all these things all week because we got to get ready for Minnesota. But I will say this, it's all fixable, and at the end of the day, you come out and you're 1-0. You're 1-0. Good teams find a way to win. I think the Patriots played about as good as they can. We took their best shot, and we didn't play nearly to the level that we can play at, and we still beat them. That's what good teams do. They beat bad teams, or they beat teams that aren't as good as them. And so at the end of the day, we're 1-0, and I can't stress the importance of going 2-0. You have a short week. You have Minnesota, who's 0-1, and Minnesota is going to come in much better offense than the Patriots, but I don't think nearly as good of a defense as the Patriots. But they're going to come into Philly, and they're going to try to get to 1-1. They do not want to fall 0-2. But if the Eagles can get to 2-0 and get out of this win with no Nakobe Dean, with no James Bradberry, and you're 2-0 on a short bye week, that will be big for the Eagles. It will be big. And then they'll put pressure on Dallas to have to beat the Jets, which I don't think is going to happen because, I know the Cowboys are celebrating 40-0. You should. Okay? But let's face it. Let's just be honest. The Eagles, they won. They weren't their greatest last night, right? The Giants were really bad. To me, that game Sunday night wasn't about how good Dallas is. It's how bad the Giants were. They were historically bad yesterday. Okay, that's just the truth. But Aaron Rodgers and Dallas will. Well, I'll say this. I don't know if the Jets are going to beat Dallas. I'll keep it real. I don't know. I don't know what to expect from the Jets. I know there's a lot of hype around them. I don't know how good they are. So they may be way overrated. They may lose tonight to the Bills and then turn around and lose to the Cowboys next week. I just don't know what they are. I don't know what Aaron Rodgers has left. So it's all going to depend on that. But it doesn't matter. Whether Dallas wins or loses, the Eagles need to be 2-0. You've got to get to 2-0. It's very important. You get through that with this mini bye week. Get guys like James Bradberry back. Get Fletcher Cox more healthy. Get Nakobe Dean another week rested. It's important. So we didn't play our best. But like I said in yesterday's video, a win is a win. And I think the middle of the field on defense is where we got to be careful and where we're going to have to watch. Just my opinion. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how we vision. We're all just living in it. Now, listen. When I say the Giants were historically bad, I'm not kidding. Get this. All right, get this. No team has ever lost 40-0 or worse, lost the sack battle 7-0 or worse, lost the turnover battle 3 nothing or worse, had a blocked field goal return for a touchdown, or threw a pick six in the same season. That has never happened in the same season. The Giants did it in one game. In one game. First time in the history of NFL. The Giants stink. Daniel Jones stinks. Stinks. A Giant, no, Capizzle, no. Entertainer, no, stinks. Stinks. They stink. Denzel Washington out.